Yo, YouTube, what is up? My name is Gore, and we are back with another video today. Today we're going to be covering a hot button topic that has been the talk of the college football world. I've waited a little bit to post this video. I wanted to see Colorado play a little bit of football first before I dove into it and gave you guys my thoughts on Deion Sanders. Going to have the picks videos coming during this week as well before the football actually starts on Thursday, both college and pro. But I wanted to kind of hopefully start a back and forth. I wanted to just kind of weigh in on a hot button topic, this being Deion Sanders, obviously in Colorado, and kind of get a back and forth going and get you guys involved and let me know where you guys kind of fall on this spectrum of, Deion being a lightning rod and Deion being praised for what he's doing here. So I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you guys can weigh in the comments down below. Drop me a comment, give the video a like if you enjoy it, and then obviously subscribe for some more content just like this. I want to continue to do more stuff like this with hot button issues. But obviously in the college football world, it's been Deion, Deion all the time, right? So I get that there's Deion fatigue. But just as an aside, if you've looked at Colorado's schedule, if you're tired of Deion, if you're tired of it in the media, you're probably going to want to continue to avert your eyes, because after the rivalry game with Colorado State this week, they have Oregon and USC. So the Deion stuff isn't going away, unfortunately, if you don't like it. But that's just the way it is. He's brought Colorado back into the fold, and that's why I'm making this video, because I very much am in love with what he's done here. I think he's done a good job. I think the criticism is a bit unfair, and that's what I'm going to get into. I heard this originally on College Game Day a couple of weeks ago from Lee Corso, right? And again, so Lee Corso, he's an icon. He's a legend, but he is really, really showing his age now on the program. I understand it's tough to get rid of him, but he's really, really kind of at the end of the line. It's unfortunate, but, he's an old timer, and he's getting very, very old, and he's showing his age. But what he said struck a chord with me. What he was harping on was, and I think the rough quote was, "I don't like Deion Sanders' tactics. I don't like the way he's going about his business." Well, okay. So if that's the case, it begs the question, what is Deion Sanders' tactics? So what is he doing? So let's think about this for a second. Deion gets hired by Colorado, a program that has completely floundered for God knows how, forever. They have been a losing program and basically a laughingstock under Carl Durrell, especially, for years, right? They won a couple of games in the COVID year that really nobody gives any kind of credence to, but that was it. They just haven't done anything on the national stage, so they have been in desperation mode. They're trying to make a splash, and so they hire Deion Sanders. So they hire him with the express goal of turning the program around, turning it into a winner, something that people can be proud of out there in Boulder. Okay, so now you're Deion Sanders. So what do? Well, if it were me, I would go in there, and I've inherited a roster that hasn't won a thing, is completely devoid of talent, and as a result, you just don't have the recruiting ability. So you've got to do something drastic. You got to make big moves. You got to go in there, guns a-blazing, elbows out, and you got to make moves. So that's what he does. He basically goes in there and he says, "Look, I've seen your guys' tape. It's not pretty, and so I'm just here to tell you guys that, a lot of you are not going to be a part of this solution. So I would encourage you to maybe look into the transfer portal." The transfer portal is a powerful tool now. We see how often kids use it. They get immediate eligibility now, and I don't have a problem with the transfer portal. I think it's a good thing largely that players are able to move around if they're not playing to somewhere else where they can play. It helps them, and it helps college football in the long run. It kind of spreads the talent out a little bit. So I, in turn, don't have a problem with a new head coach coming in to a bad situation and going, guys, I don't see it here. And I'm going to bring in a lot of my own guys. And so you're not going to be here. So I encourage you to use the portal. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see that as being the wrong tactics, right? Because it's like, so for the Lee Corsos of the world, what should Deion do? Pluck a guy from the portal here and there, and then say, well, you know what, that's enough. We're going to go out there and we're going to lose 9-10 games again. But at least we did it the right way. That's ridiculous to me. That just doesn't make any sense. Deion had to do what he had to do, and I think he's gone about it the right way. So I think you look. You don't have to like Deion Sanders. You don't have to like the Deion mania in the media. You don't have to like any of that. You don't have to like his swag, his, ego, and maybe the self-promotion bit. You don't have to like any of that. But I think the criticism of his, he's gone about it the wrong way, I don't think it's fair. He's done what he's had to do, and he's done a pretty good job doing it. And by the way, coaches use the coaches transfer portal too. Let's not forget that, right? Coaches have no problem switching schools at the blink of an eye and creating coaching staffs while they're the current coach of a team, and just that silly season stuff we see at the end of every year. Lincoln Riley basically being scared that Oklahoma's going to move to the SEC, so he bolts in the middle of the night for USC. It happens, right? And I don't see, that doesn't get criticized nearly as much as say Deion, right? So I agree with his tactics, even if they're rough around the edges. I agree that that's what he did, what he had to do, and now you see the results. That's why I've waited on this video. So now you've seen 2 weeks of Colorado football. Yes, there's work to be done. I don't think they're in a good spot defensively still. Anybody who plays Jeff Sims in a game is going to look like a top 10 defense, because Jeff Sims is atrocious with the turnovers anyway, right? Wouldn't Nebraska like to have this kind of turnaround that Deion's had? I bet you if you're in Nebraska, you'd love to be 2-0, and you'd be probably screaming for Matt Rule to do it the way Deion did it, right? So it's worked. But I do think for Colorado, they've got some issues defensively. But he's brought in a lot of guys on offense. I think he brought in the right coordinator. The offense looks good. And he's just, I get it. You don't have to like him, but to criticize the way he's gone about it is unfair. I think he's done the only thing he could do to get Colorado back into the national fold. And they're not, it won't go away. So like I say, if you don't like the Deion talk, avert your eyes, because the next few weeks with Oregon and USC looming, it's going to be a lot more Deion. I know College Game Day, I think, is actually going there this weekend. Couple of things for Colorado in the future, though, as I look ahead. It'll be interesting for me to see, Deion has had the luxury of of coaching his son as the quarterback, and he's got another one, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball, but you don't get to keep your son forever in college, right? So when he graduates and moves on, and maybe becomes an NFL prospect, who knows? Yeah, he's played well, but we'll see. But for Deion, I would like to see how the team looks and the offense looks when Deion actually has to go out and recruit a quarterback that is not his son, right? It's a nice luxury to have, but at a certain point, that's going to come to an end, and you need to kind of figure it out at the quarterback position with somebody who is not, your flesh and blood. So it'll be interesting to see where Colorado moves on in the future. But again, he's gone about it the only way he could go about it. And I don't think you can criticize the tactics of how he's done it. He's brought a winner. I mean, when was the last time we've talked about Colorado at this level? It's been a while, right? He's done that job. That's his success. We'll see how it plays out. I don't, the overreactions about, Heisman's and this and that. I get it, right? Travis Hunter and Shador, they probably put themselves in the Heisman mold, but, pump the brakes just a little bit. There's still a long way to go. The competition is going to get a lot stronger, right? He's not going to go undefeated. They're going to lose some games, right? So it's how they handle that and how they grow as a team that's just come together. that will make things interesting. So again, just to kind of recap this a little bit, I love what he's done, even though some people might criticize him, because it, like I say, it may be aggressive, but it's the only thing he could have done. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys drop a comment on the video. Let me know where you're at with Deion and all that. Maybe you're sick of it. And by the way, not just if you agree or with me, right? I don't want to live in this echo chamber where people just agree with me wholeheartedly, right? If you disagree, if you have a different thought, drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I'd love to hear from you. So give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.